Hey folks, what's going on? Heir of Carthage here. I know it's a little different to see me in person, and then when I do have the camera on, I typically use a green screen behind me. For those of you who are wondering, yes, I am going to have gameplay in this video, and if you don't want to see this first part, please feel free to skip on through. I'll have a tag, but I did want to do a quick talk about real quick. I am showing you kind of a new game. I've showed this before. It is Surviving the Aftermath, which is going to be published by Paradox Interactive, and it's developed by Ice Flake Studios. I've covered this game before. It was in early access over on the Epic Game Store, and it still is. And it's now on early access on Steam, and it's been out on early access for about a year. I've been playing it on and off all throughout that time, every time I got an update, and the game has come a long ways, a long ways. They're doing a great job in development, in my opinion. If you've seen me in the past play Surviving Mars a few times like I did, this game is similar in many respects, but obviously with some nice new changes because it is really focused around like a post-apocalyptic survivor thing versus survival on another planet with more of a futuristic theme. This one definitely has that post-apocalyptic vibe to it, which is really cool, really fun. And I found myself enjoying it a lot, and that's why I want to show it to you. Now, not too long ago, Ice Flake and Paradox reached out to me, and they said, hey, we've got something we want to send you, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's actually a pretty cool face mask thing. And they said, we'd love it if you want to show off the game as it goes into early access on Steam. And I am late to doing that. This actually became available on early access on October 22nd. It's been out since then. It's there now. And it's definitely something that I am really happy about because I didn't like that it was just on Epic. That's where they had it for early access. Now it's on Steam, so I'm super excited that people have more options on where they want to go get it. So, no, this video is not officially sponsored, by the way, but yes, they did send me these face masks, not for my use per se, though I may keep one. They're really cool. But I have several of these that I can give out to you all, and they figured that this might be something appropriate for 2020, as we're all kind of surviving 2020 as well, right? With the insane human malware that's going around, and boy, it's been a wild year for all of us. Yeah, the face mask, something that's required almost every place you go. And not to mention, this is a really cool one. Check this out. It's got like the cool Surviving the Aftermath logo on this side, and then they've got, like the branding there, and it's got the filtration, but even the way it's going to look on is going to be pretty slick. Really looks cool. Anyway, I've got a few of these. If you want one and you're in the US, I'm going to give away some of these. Leave a comment if you meet those criteria. One, you're watching the video and you leave a comment and you're in the US. Some people might be saying, Aaron, that's not fair. I'm not in the US. I didn't even get a chance. It's just too expensive to mail stuff overseas, and it's very difficult. And sometimes when I mail stuff overseas, it just doesn't get there. What I will do as a consolation prize is I will take a couple of keys to this game, and I will give them away to some of the folks outside the US as a prize that you are capable of winning, so that way hopefully I can do something for those who aren't inside the US. It's already going to be a pretty penny for me to go mail these out to folks. Nothing I can't handle, but if I do it overseas, gonna get real expensive. Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to announce with this. So if you want to win a face mask, let me know. They are really cool. I've had to wear a lot of face masks, like most of you, over the last few months, and I wish it would have been this one. This one looks pretty neat. Makes you look like someone real important when you're out wearing it, and it looks pretty sturdy as opposed to the kind of crappy one I wear all the time. Anyway, but in any case, let's jump into the game and let me show you Surviving the Aftermath. Again, published by Paradox, developed by Ice Flake. And I'll show you why I like this game. Alright, now that my ugly mug is out of the way, you all can enjoy the game in its entirety. So this is it, Surviving the Aftermath. Like I said, this has been in early access, I think over a year. They've made, oh man, it's over 10 updates. I'm going to say it wrong though if I go for the exact number. I forget the exact number. But I believe it's over 10 updates they've made to the game in that time. Usually we get them fairly frequently. They've been adding content to the game and polishing it. The basic premise of the game is you are a small group of survivors, you're leading them, and there's been some type of big apocalyptic event. We don't know why or what or anything of the specifics of that, but a lot of the landscape around you is very inhospitable, and you're going to have to help your band of survivors make it through all kinds of perilous trials and try and build them up a pretty good life. Now, I have played the game repeatedly on an easy setting, and it's been fairly easy for me to do, hence an easy setting. What I'm going to do now is try it on a bit more difficult, okay? And so I'm going to try this on for size, see how it works out, and we'll just take the game on. It'll give me a chance for me to show you all the game and more of its normal. So I'm just going to kind of pick the medium setting on all this, and I'll take the game on in a tougher fashion, okay? So now the difficulty says it's at 67%. When I've been playing on easy, it's easier than that. I have not tried the hardest difficulty yet. And again, the game is still in early access, but basically all those things I was clicking was like how many catastrophes and like how challenging they'll be, stuff like that. The resources, the average starting resources, ideologies, additional tech options to improve the colony efficiency, and then, you know, it just kind of, you know, leads you down one of these. You can pick actually, this one doesn't have as much to do, I think, with the difficulty, does it? Yeah, it does. It has something to do with it. Maybe. No, maybe not. It's because it's at 50% and, or now it's, I don't know, I'm confused. Anyway, you can pick which one. It says additional tech for more efficient survival. This one's additional tech for ways to improve the colony, and the last one is additional tech for exploration. I'm going to pick additional tech options to improve the colony efficiency. Let's try that one. And then we've got to pick, it says the gatekeeper life is unfair, but sometimes it feels like you're not alone. Whether it's an invisible guardian or just pure fate, but it feels like someone's watching over us. So we can say we can be the architect. The path is challenging but worth the risk, so lenient and helpful. It's a tough road to walk, but never unfair. Survivalist, challenging but fair. And suffering or success, chaotic, no restrictions, anything is possible. Let's do this number 2 here. And now let's start picking our specialists. Now, specialists are obviously what it sounds like. They're a special character in your colony. They can help you with certain tasks, like attacking, researching, scavenging, or helping your colonists recover. I usually like to come in fairly well balanced, though early on having some good fighters is definitely not bad. If you look at the stats, 25 is the best damage that any of our people put out. So I usually do like to bring some fighters, and if these fighters also have secondary skills, so say like, look, for instance here, Scrapper, or Scrappa, he happens to be good at fighting, and in terms of scavenge, he gets a plus 30%. This guy actually does a little better with science and recovers slightly less hit points per day. So you can see kind of the trade-off between the fighters, right? Is Baron, and then sometimes you get, Makeda here is also a fighter. You know, so you can kind of pick. So I usually like to get a fighter character. I haven't brought Baron before. Let's bring Baron. He's looking rather scrappy. And then let's look. We need a scientist as well. And I believe 300 science points per day is the best you can get. I haven't used Stella yet either. Or Hex. Oof, the scavenge is so much better on Stella though. It's just that Hex is a slightly better fighter. Let's bring Stella so I can get the bonus scavenging capability. And really we probably want to bring a really good scavenger now too. Let's see, Domino gets 50% scavenge. And I think that's the best we're going to get because Raj has the same over here. Wheeler. Yeah, let's bring Domino. She can be our scavenger. So here we go. We're going to continue now. And as far as visuals go, we got to pick a banner for our settlement. I like this dried up fish here, and you'll see why here. So we're going to go blue banner, dried up fish. And our colony name is going to be New Carthage, because of course I'm the heir of Carthage, right? And our motto is salt is the salt of life. Folks, words that will leave you thinking for generations. So I like the old dead salted fish here for our visual to represent this. Feels very appropriate. So we're ready to hop in. Here's the summary of what we're up against, and let's jump in. It's going to load up our world, and right away we'll need to start getting things ready for our survivors, and our specialists are going to help us do that. And again, the game was not like this. I mean, it has improved immensely over the time that it's been in early access, and they even have a lot of feedback features you'll see where they're asking you for feedback, and I can tell they're taking it because I'm seeing some of the changes being implemented that I would want to see based on my time playing it. So we need to get our campsite ready. We can't really bring our survivors until we get a campsite. This green area here is pretty fertile, and more green, slightly more fertile. So I'm gonna stick our campsite kind of over here in a less fertile area. Something I don't want to mess up, like potential farmable areas. So let's stick it maybe right here. It's kind of central, but it's not going to take up too much of our fertile ground. So we've got a campsite. We're going to need places for people to live, water for them to drink, and so on. So let's get a water well built. Your water well is going to provide this, and you can see all of your different stats up here at the top, all the different resources. Here's food, water, electricity, number of colonists, happiness, all that kind of stuff. A water well needs to be built somewhere where it's going to have the highest efficiency. It can provide up to 10 water. Let's put it up here, kind of out of the way. I'm going to tell my specialist to start building it, so now they're going to head down here and pick up resources from our campsite, and they'll start building the water well. Something else that we're going to need in order to get started, or people are going to need a shelter. And so what we're going to do is build an emergency shelter, which is kind of a place where we can just cram in quite a few people without giving them hardly any creature comforts whatsoever, of course. So we'll build that, and it may not hurt to have an extra tent, which only provides 2, but of course the tent gives people a little more personal space. So we're going to build a tent and an emergency shelter here. And I'm going to hit this. Your speed of play is right down here. I'm going to fast forward. And we're going to try and get things ready for when our survivors arrive. We don't want them to arrive with no water or other resources. That would be pretty bad. That would be pretty bad indeed. Let's see if our folks are working on... Yep, now they're going to come back up here and help build. Actually, we could get these guys... Let's hit play, and I'll get these other two... This lady to work here and get him to work there. So we'll work on all 3 buildings. They're going to be placing resources, begin construction. You can see our water wells almost finished now. There's probably a couple other things we should take care of as we get started here. We'll probably need a medical facility to help treat people, because we will have people get wounded or indeed injured, maybe infected, irradiated, all kinds of wonderful stuff that you get when it comes to surviving the aftermath. So we'll go ahead and put up a medical tent right off the bat, as I feel like that will be important. Let's get our specialist busy. See, we're still constructing the water well over here. There are resources on the ground as you play. So see, here's some wood. Here's berries. There's a concrete ruin. So concrete, wood. Look, here's a bunch of plastic that you can pick up. These are your plastics up here. There's scrap metal that will be lying around in places too, so there's some metal that we can get. So it is a resource gathering venture as well. Put our extra specialist to work though. Let's see what else we want to go ahead and build. We're going to need a place to gather food. One of the good things to have early on here is a trapper. And a trapper will help us gather venison for our colonists to eat. And they gather it from nearby woodlands. So I'm going to go ahead and begin building this trapper. So that'll give us food, water, and shelter. Just a few basics to get started with. People are obviously waiting for us to come, and when we're ready, we can go into our campsite and we can click this signal fire. You've only got so long to get ready for them too. These are our starting resources as well. We get some tools, some candy bars, iodine pills, planks, concrete, jerky, some medicine, clothes. Just some of the basic resources to get things started. We could also start gathering up some more resources. So like, for instance, these planks, or better yet, food. I can probably start by hauling in some extra food. So like these berries over here. Let's build a food storage and a stockpile as well. So I'm going to put a stockpile right here. And let's put a food storage here as well. And again, I'm going to try and save some farmable land right up there. So now we can build the stockpile. We've got someone gathering up some extra berries. And those can be stored at the campsite. They can also be stored in our food storage that we're building. As far as anything else, I don't think there's a whole lot else we can build ahead of time here in the colony. We can't build a gate yet. We actually have to have our survivors here for that. But, you know, I think we're making some good progress here as far as getting our colony ready to go. Let's tell this guy to build the food storage here, or her, this lady. Alright, stockpile, and we can tell our stockpile, for instance, it can have a work area where when our settlers get here, for instance, we'll tell them to start gathering up these planks and concrete. So we'll do that. We're hauling in some extra food that'll be needed. We've got 10 water supply. It probably wouldn't hurt to have a little bit better water supply. Though, to be fair, we're going to need some metal, and we're going to need a scrapper for that. And we should probably build the scrapper. Here's our extra metal up here. Let's see. I want to build this on less than desirable land here. So we'll put our scrapper there. It's going to knock a few trees down, of course. Alright, you start building the scrapper. We're also going to need a recycler. I'll build it right here next to the plastics. We're gonna probably be a little bit low on resources here in a moment too. But, you know, we can always use our folks to gather up some. Now, you cannot gather metal and plastics with your specialist. They can only gather the most basic of resources, like the concrete and the planks and the stuff laying on the ground, like berries, things such as that. Alright, our food storage is ready. I'm going to go ahead and set a work area for that as well. There's a couple berry bushes up here that we haven't touched yet, so I'll set that there for when our colonists get here. And then I'm going to give this person, we're going to give Stella here the order to build our recycler. And this should provide most of the basic needs to start with for our survivors. Let's move our work area. The trapper thrives in the woods. So we'll want to move this to where we get the highest work area efficiency. And right now, we're not having the best of luck with efficiency. Usually I can get it up to 100% pretty easy, but not right now. But this may be because of the difficulty settings that we're on. It may be harder to get it the higher efficiency. There's a 67%. I think it's about some of the best we've gotten. Let's set that for now. So that's not ideal, but I mean that's the best we're going to be able to do for the time being. One of the other things that our specialists can do is explore. They can begin exploring. You may run into hostile mobs around the map, like animals. Occasionally you can be attacked. You can see we actually depleted the berries, so our specialist ended up cleaning up that entire deposit. That's good. Having some extra food on hand is not going to be a bad thing here. It's actually going to be quite a good thing. I do believe we're going to need more water pretty quickly into this whole thing. And we'll want to do some exploring. I'm going to kind of just go search the edges of the map a little bit here. And we've got our last specialist building recycler. As soon as we get done with the recycler, I think we'll be ready to just go ahead and call everybody in. But I'm going to take the few moments to go ahead and just be prepared here. And hopefully this will work out for the better. So see, look right here. There's a fierce mouse. It's a wild animal. We can actually fight it. There's another one here. You can see they're going to attack my specialist. And this is where your fighters come in handy. They obviously deal more damage. But look, we can eat the mice. Yes, we're going to get some mouse venison. It's delicious, by the way, in case any of you all out there are scared to try it. Don't be afraid to eat diseased rats that are living near pollution. You know, like this. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Just dive in, okay? Take life head on. Anyway, so that'll give you an example of what we're going to be up against. We are finished building our recycler. It's probably time for us to go ahead and call in. We're going to invite the colonists to come. So we've sent up the signal flare. Very pretty. They've actually done a ton of work on the visuals of the game, and I feel like they're doing a good job with it. I like the aesthetic. Alright, here comes the inhabitants. It says, prompted by the specialist signal flare, the rest of your group arrives at the prepared campsite. Despite all the hardship ahead, it's time to rebuild and turn this hostile place into a home. Indeed it is. So let's get started. First, let's finish eating up all of our delicious rat venison. And then I see some majestic deer over here that would make a majestic hamburger. No about be delicious. All of our colonists are here. There's 10 of them. When they can, they will automatically fill their employment areas. So like for here, the recycler already has this person employed here. Should go look, it's Angela. So Angela's working the recycler. We need to move the work area of the scrapper up here. And the other thing we're going to need is some roads, which we can now build because our colonists are here. And roads help people move around the colony faster. And that's very good for you over time, as you need people to be moving and moving resources around as well. So like for instance, we'll just build a nice little road out, help with that, and then we'll build a road across over here to the plastic recycler. So this will help people move around the settlement a little more efficiently. And you can see that our workers will go to work. Those who are not employed become carriers, and you can see them up here. No, not carrying a virus, which that'll probably come later. But the carriers will go and look at the work areas on, say, like your stockpile where you store things, and your food storage, and they will go start gathering those resources. And in fact, we should task our specialists to start helping with this as well. Now, early on, we should probably be gathering up quite a lot of food. So I'm going to get these 2 specialists busy cleaning out these berry bushes. And then I've got another specialist. Let's see, where's Stella? Okay, here's my last specialist. We're going to take her out here. This Domino, our scavenger. And I think we cleaned up all the rat venison. So let's have her start cleaning up some planks for us. Actually, there's some that are a little closer. Just help stock the colony up with supplies, right? Early on, seems like a good task for them. I mean, we were able to increase our food reserves quite a lot just by having them involved. Now, over time, things like tools and clothing will break. The tools and clothing are very important to help keep your colonists protected from exposure and to help them do their jobs more efficiently. So you need to make more tools and clothing. Right now, I don't have a lot of extra people to help do that. We're going to need to do it. We also need to build a gate to help protect our colony and also allow us to interface with the outside world. So we're going to get the gate started. We lack the materials for it. We're going to be very shy on metal at the moment. So we're going to be reliant on our scrapper to get more metal processed every day and get us ready for that. But anyway, we've got people working. Let's hit fast forward for a minute. Let our folks gather up some resources. Kind of help the colony get prepared, move along. You can see they're slowly building the dirt paths, picking up resources. Our trapper is bringing in some venison. Unfortunately, like I said, though, our work area is somewhat limited in its capability. We could look at moving it, but it's really not a whole lot better over here. 71%, 72%, 74%. I think 74 is the best number I've seen on there. 75, there we go, it's not bad. 77. Let's pop it over there. And then we'll just extend our road over in that direction, so that it'll be easier for them to get to their work area. So there we go. But yeah, our trapper is going to be gathering up venison. We do have a medical tent where we can try and treat people for when they inevitably get injured, or, you know, working this close to pollution, they're almost certainly going to get irradiated. Look, there's a ruined wooden house right here too. That's a whole bunch of wood. So this is great. We actually have a lot of wood handy. We are low on concrete at the moment too, so I'm going to wait for one of my specialists who's carrying the berries. And I'm going to redirect this specialist to a concrete ruin, which we should be able to find some of these handy around our start position. I saw one earlier. It was pretty close. Right here, small concrete ruin. So get them dedicated to that. In fact, I'm going to hit the move work area just to kind of see what's around here. There's a concrete ruin. The little icons obviously make it easier to see stuff through the trees. There's another concrete ruin up there, some here. So yeah, we have access to plenty of concrete. at the moment. We should be good. Let's keep our work area here, let them finish. We depleted a plank deposit. 2 of our colonists are homeless. We need to build them a shelter. But honestly, I mean, we're going to be pretty strapped for resources, though we do have the plastic to build another tent. An emergency shelter is going to require more plastic. It can shelter more people, though, which could be good going forward as more colonists show up. Though obviously living in an emergency shelter is not super desirable for our folks. But we'll go ahead and build that too. We're going to be strapped for resources. We're going to have to work hard, gather some resources. We also need more water. We are consuming as much as we are producing. That's going to require some metal and plastic as well. So yeah, we better get on that or else we're going to be in some big trouble very soon, which again requires a lot of concrete as well. Since we are good on food at the moment, I'm going to take one of my specialists and we're going to redirect him, or her, him in this case. We're going to redirect him to a concrete ruin. So there we go. So we're definitely going to need some concrete. And then we've got someone sitting around not working here, so rather than allowing them to be useless and lazy, let's go grab another plank deposit. Because food-wise, we're set for a little while now. A little while at least. Okay, so we're gathering up concrete. Let's fast forward again. The metal recycler, we just gotta wait on the scrapper to produce enough metal. And if we take a look at production, it says we're producing 3. So maybe 3 per day. That's what we're gonna get. Alright. Yeah, so this will put us in good shape. I'm gonna fast forward. Let us finish some more structures. We don't want to have people homeless if we can help it. And we want to have a gate. The gate's going to take up another work or 2, but hopefully once we build the gate, we can get some more colonists. We're going to need water for those colonists too, so we're going to have to keep a tight eye on things here because we're already kind of running on the brink with people homeless and probably soon to not have any water. You can see him building my road here. Poor homeless colonists being forced to build a road. Heir is indeed a cruel taskmaster, folks. But, you know, such is surviving the aftermath. Okay, you can see this red circle around our work area means we have depleted the resources within that work area. I'm going to move it just to the north here and pick up... There's a ton of wood here. Wood is going to be very, very handy for us. We're getting a good amount of concrete in now, too, which should allow for the construction of our... emergency shelter as soon as we have enough plastics. We're still waiting on 2 metals to come to our gate, so let's fast forward because we're going to have to just wait on our scrapper for that. We've depleted more deposits. When that happens, I like to slow down. You can click it and it should show you what's been depleted. In this case, it looks like one of our berry deposits is depleted, but otherwise we're good, so we're going to dismiss that. It says our colonists want to talk. It says something about a landfill. Well, let's go check. It says 2 colonists approach you with sparkling eyes. An old landfill has been found, probably by the stench. It's not too far from here, although the smell is absolutely awful. It might have kept scavengers away from there until now, and valuable stuff might still lie among the waste. An expedition there might prove lucrative, but most definitely dangerous without any equipment. An extra layer of clothing and a set of tools would go a long way in keeping the colonists safe and efficient. So, we can risk giving up 2 tools and 2 clothing for a chance to maybe scavenge something good. We can give permission for folks to go, and I'm assuming that probably gives you the highest chance of succeeding. We can pick option 2, which gives our people permission, but we don't give them the protective tools and clothing, and I can imagine that starts to now run a risk that people are going to be injured or infected, and we can altogether ignore this festering stink land, but of course there is no possible good outcome from it either. Seeing as that you all are seeing me play the game for the first time, let's get risky. Let's give them some of our precious little equipment and let them go search, and let's see what happens. Well, one of our colonists still managed to get infected, but we picked up 10 plastic, and that's actually pretty great. I do hate that we're even lower on tools and stuff without the workers to produce more at the moment, but 10 plastic is pretty spectacular. We will take that all day long, because that should give us the plastic to finish our Yep, it did. Our emergency shelter plus a little left over. And we're going to need some more plastic and metal for constructing another... Oh, this is bad. Yeah, we are negative on water, so people are going to start... dying of thirst. I'm going to cancel construction of the gate. And that way we can build another water well. We've just got to have more water. This is not going to be okay to go without water, folks. We need to find a very good, efficient place to build this where it won't get polluted. And see, like 100% efficiency, like right here. This is looking pretty good. So let's build our water well right up here. Plus we already got a road going up to it. And we'll be able to reuse the material we were going to pour into the gate. And trust me, I want a gate, but we need water. We need water. In fact, let's tell one of our specialists to assist with the water well. And I'm going to take the other specialists who have now gathered up a considerable amount of concrete. I'm going to send one to gather more concrete. And I'm going to send another to maybe see about gathering up some extra food from these berry bushes. And then let's check our... Yeah, our work areas are looking good. Okay, we're heading up to get concrete here. The water well. We just need some more concrete, and we have quite a bit. So, yeah, let's take care of the water well. This is a clear and present danger. We can't be running a negative. Oh, build it, build it, build it, please. We have the concrete for it. We're just waiting on workers to get it up there. And we only have 3 runners. Okay, looks like someone got healed at the doctor, so this is great. Build it! There we go. Alright, we've got the additional concrete. Construction can begin. Excellent. I believe all of our specialists are busy working. Sure looks like it. 1 building, 2 gathering. Alright, folks, water is on the way. Water is on the way. We don't want our poor survivalist here to be without water this early on. It takes a while to construct, too. How much metal are we going to need for the gate? The gate is going to require 15. So it's going to be a couple more days of... Oh, wow. We just happened upon quite a lot of metal there for whatever reason. So, fantastic. Maybe they picked it back up from where we were building the gate. Because that is excellent. Good news. Good news. Okay, so we're gonna let the water well finish. We now have water, folks. We now have excess water. Another thing we should probably do is build a clean water storage, but we also really need a gate. If we don't build a gate, we can't interface with the outside world, which is where we could scavenge and get more. But if we build the gate, it's going to take us longer to build a clean water storage. And if we have a disaster where we need stored water, we're screwed. I think we have enough to do both. We're just a little short on plastic, actually. So I need 10 plastic for this, and 5 plastic. So we're only just a hair shy on plastic. Let's start building the gate. And let all of our resources go to that. I'm going to try and get my specialist involved. We're about to finish harvesting the berries there. Picking up more planks. We've cleaned up another concrete ruin. We've actually got a pretty decent supply of concrete right now. So maybe just go gather some extra berries here. Is everybody working? Yes, everybody's working. We should probably build a road down to our gate. Help people with movement. Let you all get in close and see this here. Let's fast forward again, give our folks a chance to start putting the gate together. And we've finished depleting a berry deposit. We should move the work area for our food storage to a place with more berries. And right over here should be good. It's at the end of a roadway. Try and gather up as much easy food as we can here. Let the construction of the gate commence. And we do have enough plastic now, so let's go ahead and commence construction of a clean water storage. think right here should be sufficient. Maybe go ahead and extend our road just a little bit here too. Another berry deposit depleted, but I think we're good. Everybody's got a good work area. Gates well underway. Clean water storage underway. So we're improving things. Our survivors may have a chance. Congratulations, you've rebuilt the gate and gained access to the world map. The gate is now open, and the vast world stands ready for your specialist to explore. This progress has not gone unnoticed. Soon your colony will begin attracting various folks, some good, others desperate, some tricksters, and those who just want to see you destroyed. Excellent. That should be fun. Arm the gate with colonists, or keep some specialists close by to defend yourself from an inevitable raids. Okay, well I actually can't afford to staff anybody on the gate, really, but they went ahead and put one person in there, so it is what it is. Let's get our specialist to work on something useful here. Honestly, let's just stockpile as much food as we can. Let's gather up these berries and get busy on it. So we can also send, I want to take a scavenger. And let's send our scavenger to the world map, actually. So by clicking on the specialist, you can send them to the world map. They'll go out the gate, and I will show you all the world map here shortly. Where the world map provides you an opportunity to explore, to potentially find resources, to take on bad guys, to go after quests, and to find some generally cool stuff. Allows you to barter with other surviving colonies. Really pretty neat. So here is the world map, and you guys can see New Carthage. It's looking particularly lovely. Very nice piece of land. Very well salted around it. Nearby, there is some science points available to us at this old museum. There's some plastic available to us at this camping site nearby. And then there is some meat available to us at this farm. So all of those things would be very welcome, particularly plastic and science. And since Domino here is a scavenger, I'm going to send her after the plastics. She can gather quite a lot here at 30 per day. It'll only take her a couple of days to gather up all the plastic here. So you can see she gets busy on the scavenging mission. And in the meantime, because the science points are very important to us, I want to take Stella, who is our scientist, and send her to the world map as well. And we'll leave our fighter, and this is actually pretty appropriate, we'll leave our fighter here to help guard the colony. From any animal or other type invasions, and he can help continue gathering berries, because when he's not fighting, he's a nice guy gathering berries. There are some survivors at the gate too. One adult, one elder, one child. They're bringing with them 9 potatoes, 5 tools, 2 candy bars, and we get another specialist, which is Donna, and she's a leader. So this could be particularly nice. She gets really good research points. So I would say she's probably a scientist in her specialty. We definitely want to accept these new colonists. So here is Donna. I guess she can... I'm going to just send her out to the world map, because she's pretty good at scavenging and stuff here too. Let's send her out to help gather up some of the nearby resources. Alright, so we've got Donna, and we're going to send her after the meat. And then we have Stella, who we're going to send after the science points. See if she's she was not able to start gathering them on day 1. So this is fine. They'll continue working, and soon we'll have some science points up here, and we can go to the research in the tech tree. And I can show you all that, because it's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and put it into fast forward again. Let our colonists kind of keep doing their thing. We are consuming food faster than we're producing it. That's not very unexpected. We do have more runners now, which will be very helpful. We're also going to want to consider starting up the production of some tools and some clothing. Tools are going to require metal. Clothing will require fiber. Fiber we are actually gathering right now as we skin animals at the trapper. So it's a very nice byproduct that we get. And I think what I'm considering is I still want to have a few runners for helping to gather resources and build things. But perhaps we could build, say, a tool workshop once we have enough materials for it, and we could alternate between tool and clothing production potentially. At the moment, we're okay. No one's tools are breaking today, no one's clothing's breaking today, and we have some spares for our 13 colonists. So maybe we'll just play it, a little bit on the safe side there, and just kind of wait. let's go ahead and fast forward. Head to the next day so we can get some more movement points outside of our settlement. Those plastics, we really need those. There's a bunch of majestic deer here, so that's a great opportunity to get some quick food. I want to take advantage of that when we have more people back in the settlement, because those deer will attack me when I start attacking them. Yeah, even deer, not very nice in this tough world. Okay, one of the berry bushes has been depleted, but there's still another there. We're still gathering up planks here, so it's good. Getting a lot of wood, a lot of concrete. Getting some time to bank up some metal. Plastics are going particularly slow for some reason. It's in production. But yeah, it's been slow. There we go. We finally got some, or no, that's our water. It's looking in the wrong place, yeah. We'll see. As quick as we can get it. Yeah, there they go. They finally stockpiled some more plastic from today's production. Okay, people are getting a little bit disgusting. That's what this icon above them means. If you go here, it says this person's hygiene is low, and we need to take some actions. So what we need to do, and all we can really do right now, is to build an outhouse. An outhouse gives people a little bit of chance to clean up, you know, take care of some of the things that, you know, even in the aftermath, that you have to take care of, okay? Let's just put it that way. Even in the aftermath, there are things that need to be taken care of. We're going to build our outhouse out here a little ways away from things because it's kind of gross. And it can increase the pollution around it. So, there we go. Outhouse is being built. That is going to take a little bit of our plastic and wood. But it gives the people the opportunity to be clean again, which I'm certain they'll appreciate. And let's get our guy working on something else. Let's maybe have him... He could probably take on 2 deer by himself. And let's go out to the world map. Let's see here. So Domino has finished gathering the plastic, and we need that. So we're going to bring her home to deliver the plastics. And Donna has gathered the meat. We're going to bring that home. And then Stella here has finished gathering all the science points that we could from the museum. So, but rather than bring her home, let's have her explore a nearby area and see what else is close. So now we have visibility on another region. There are some bandits camped out here at what looks like another, yeah, it's another museum with some more science points that we would definitely need. There's a factory that has some machine parts. And then there is a camping site with yet more plastic. And that could give us a huge early lead with plastic. We're going to need some fighters to come out and help take down the bandits there. So, not a bad idea to actually probably get Baron sent out to the world map. And let's get our other 2 specialists here. And let's go ahead and maybe start gathering up these majestic deer here. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to get a lot of venison. Let's get Baron, and let's order him down here to the bandits' lair to attack them. He won't be able to do that until tomorrow. And our scientist here, Stella, maybe what she can do, even though she's not necessarily a scavenger, we can use her to start gathering the plastics. It's going to take her a few days. But while we're waiting on Baron to clear out the bandits, then she can come over and gather up the science points. And speaking of science points, let's put those to use, and it'll be a good place to stop today's episode, and then I'll bring you all some more and show you a little bit more as the game progresses. We can get our first research done. There's some things that I think we should do. If we look here, the production speed of our trapper and fisheries would be increased with only 50 research points, and then we can open up another work slot at the trapper and gather more food. This makes a lot of sense. Food is going to be important. Production is also important. We need plastic and metal, but right now we're finding a pretty good amount of plastic out on the map. Not so much metal, so this could also be important. We have 300-ish research points. I definitely think we should start with survival skills, and then probably work on the production to help our scrapper and plastic recycler be a little more speedy in their duties. Let's let you all see this last little bit here. I'm going to send my specialist out here to attack these majestic deer. They are indeed majestic. Got some like cool stripes going on. See though, the deer fight back, man. Not always an easy dinner. Gonna get some antler wounds. But now that we've killed the deer, we can start cleaning up their carcasses here to take the venison back and help feed us. So building up a food stockpile, never a bad idea in this game. You never know what's coming your way. And speaking of, we haven't had a catastrophe yet, but this is surviving the aftermath, and I promise you, there will be catastrophes. Catastrophes will come. The outhouse is ready, by the way. So now people can start getting cleaned up. You can see its first visitor there inside taking care of business. So that will also be a much needed improvement. So we have given our colony food. We have given them water. We have given them a place to take care of nature's business. And we're getting a good start. So come back next time, and I'll show you how we continue to survive the aftermath. And again, if you want to win one of the masks, go leave me a comment if you are in the US. If you are not in the US, but you'd like to win maybe a key to the early access, I will probably give away a couple of those. I don't know the exact date of the giveaway yet, but go ahead and put the stuff there, and I'll get busy on it. The only reason I'm not saying a date here is because I don't want to promise something that I then get busy and can't keep, but it will come, so hang in there. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. Hope you all enjoyed this look into surviving the aftermath. It is on Steam. I'll have a link to the Steam page if you want to check it out. It is still early access. It is not a finished game yet, but I would say that it has quite a bit of content. It's going for $25 on Steam, so it's not full price. Is it worth it? It depends on how important the $25 is to you. If you can afford the $25 and you want to try out a cool new survival game and get some input on the way that it's pushed and you think you like what you see here, I think it would be good in that case. If you don't have the $25, what I would say is keep watching. I'll cover it. Other people will cover it. You can keep an eye on the game. And at one point, if you think it's what you want, you can give it a shot. Looks like we've already got something to take care of here, too. Vision of gloom. An older colonist claiming to bear grave news is brought to you there, shaking and in clear dismay. I saw it. A bright wave of destruction. It will hit tonight. Oh, boy. You try to ask for more guidance, but the colonist has already passed out from the stress. It's up to you to decide how to take this news. We can prepare for the fallout by using some plastic. We can prepare for a fire using a concrete. Prepare for a meteor using some of our precious metal, or we can ignore them altogether. I have a lot of plastic, and we're about to bring more home. I don't know. We can probably afford to prepare for the fallout. Plastic's a pretty valuable resource, too, though. We'll see what happens. It says, you are led to believe this vision was a warning of upcoming fallout with disastrous effects. You call your colonists to safety and start reinforcing the buildings. Before the job can even begin, you see black smoke and flames rising from the emergency shelter. It seems you interpreted the signs incorrectly. Great. Great. Well done, Heir. Now we lost even more plastic. So you can see the aftermath has a lot to throw at you. So come back next time, and we'll see whether Heir's colony is entirely a flaming ruin, or whatever happens. So I'm off to a good start already. See you all next time. HeirofCarthage, signing out from New Carthage, where we're surviving the aftermath.